Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy, coming to you this week from the Food Marketing Institute Convention, FMI Connect, in Chicago. You know, the first one of these I went to was back in 1985, which I think means this is something like my 30th. Although I think I missed a couple in there, I think probably because a kid was being born or something. But you know, there have been a lot of changes that have taken place in the industry and in this show over that period of time. I mean, among other things, this show is a lot quieter and a lot smaller than it used to be. Think of some of the other big changes that affected the industry. I mean, 30 years ago, when people talked about going online, they were talking about getting online to get a cab back to the city. And these days, people don't even do that. They go on Uber. And who of us even would have thought about Uber back 30 years ago? But that really only scratches the surface in terms of the changes that are taking place in this industry. Really fundamental changes that could rock this business for the next decades. And the thing is, everybody's here looking for the next big thing. For me, whatever the next big thing is going to be, it really is going to be keyed around four things: differentiation, authenticity, relevance, and transparency. Now see, wasn't that easy? All these people came to Chicago trying to find out what the next big thing was going to be, and I just gave it to you for nothing. But of course, it really isn't that easy, is it? You know, it seems to me that one of the things that all four of those things key on is the notion of really understanding the consumer, understanding consumer wants and needs, sometimes even before the consumer knows. And that means companies, retailers, manufacturers have to be very specific about paying attention to certain things. It means knowing where the products that they're selling come from and making sure that they're labeled effectively and accurately, so nobody can call any of that into question. It means being able to provide online services that I think people are going to, in very short order, think of as being just as much a requisite as scanning or shopping carts. And it makes me to having the record keeping that it has to do with food safety, being totally transparent about that, understanding that it's an advantage both from a marketing and an equity point of view, doing the things that are necessary in terms of food safety to make sure that everybody has faith in the system, and if and when there's a problem, you can deal with it quickly so people never lose trust in the system. And let's face it, listen, it's only going to take one bad actor, one bad player to undermine the entire system, and the entire industry has to be focused on that. Not just because they have to do it from an operational point of view, but because you have to do it to maintain trust and credibility with the consumer. You know, listen, like I said, easy, right? You didn't have to come to Chicago, but all these things are critically important if companies are going to be credible, viable, and sustainable over a long period of time. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.